Do you want to know how to hit each of your irons one club further and increase how far you hit the golf ball? Hi everyone, my name is James Robinson. Welcome back to Get Good at Golf. Today that's exactly what we're going to do. And the beauty about this is you don't need to go to the gym, you don't need to swing it any harder, and you certainly won't start hitting it there, and there, because we're going to help you get a better club face. We're going to help you hit it a lot straighter. I'm going to help you hit it a little bit further with your irons. You see, we're 153 yards out here to this green, and I have an 8 iron. For a lot of golfers, that might be around your club. It might be a little bit too far for the 8 iron. And if I put a golf swing on this, where I have a nice kind of neutral shaft angle here, and I just move forward and strike it pretty well. You can see I've struck that really nicely. It's bang on line. It's not quite going to have the numbers though. It's not quite going to have the distance. That's in the front bunker. It's carried 132. It's gone 140 yards. If I look at how that ball launched, and Chris can show you this on the screen now, you'll see that ball launched at 23.4. So 23.4, that is not too bad. I've seen balls launch a lot higher. I've seen balls launch lower. But how can I get that ball to launch a little bit lower, come out a little bit hotter, and generally help you hit it further? You see, we started with a nice neutral hand angle here and shaft angle. What about if we look a little bit more aggressive with this, a little bit more attacking? So we maybe have a little bit more forward shaft lean here, because essentially what we're trying to do at impact is create this forward shaft lean. We'll go through how to do that in today's video, but it's imperative that you start as you mean to go on. You start in a position where it's easier to return that club back to where you want it to be. So if I were to start with my handle forward here, this actually looks like a better position straight away to compress the golf ball, and that is a big word when we talk about iron ball striking compression. So now I put the same swing on this. So I've struck it okay again, it's at the target again. This one probably still won't get there, it might creep front edge. That's carried, well, it's carried 150, so we've got the number that we want. I haven't swung that any harder, it's still gone on line with the green. And if we have a look at again just how that launched, you'll see that's launched at 20.2, so it's launched 3.2 degrees lower, and it's great to have this available on the GolfSon system so we can see how the ball is launching. So I know that dynamically there, depending on my angle of attack, I know I've generally presented less dynamic loft. So that's helped the ball go a little bit further, and it actually means that if I have my handle forward, I'm using my body in a better mechanical way. I'm using my body in a rotational manner, because the first shot that you saw, and I can kind of repeat this for you because it's a very simple way of getting the golf ball around a golf course, but it's a very difficult way of timing the club head. So if I hit you another shot, you can see I struck it okay there. That one's actually gone left. It's gone very high again. I don't think that's going to have the distance, and it's gone in the front bunker. Now I can tell you that ball is launching higher than the shot we've just hit. And why is it doing that? Because as I come down into the ball, instead of rotating my hips and getting that handle forward, I'm actually sliding a little bit into the ball and then releasing the club to have too much dynamic loft on there. When you release the club early like that, the club tends to point left, which is why we've missed a green left as well. So we spoke about in the introduction, we're going to help you hit these irons at least one club further. We're also going to help you hit it straighter towards your target. So what I want to see you do here now is set up with the handle forward, as we mentioned. For an 8 iron like I've got here, the ball's going to be pretty much in the middle of our stance, and the butt of my club wants to point just towards my left pelvis. Now, as I take that club away and I load up to the top of the backswing, my initial thought to start the downswing is a rotation of that left hip so it moves down and it actually goes in line with both my knee and my ankle. So from there it keeps rotating, keeps turning. I can now feel my right hip rotating as well, and there's loads of room here for my hand to get this way. I don't want to see my hips stay straight and slide to the left, because then you have to raise the handle up, and that's not how you want to deliver the club. So all of a sudden, if I start doing those, I'm not swinging any faster. The club head speed isn't going to be any more, but I know that I can rotate a lot better, rotate a lot more consistently, and straight away this is going closer to that flag. That ball's carried 157 yards. That one's actually gone longer the green, and that's one of the main problems you're going to have if you watch this video and put it into your golf game. You're going to start hitting the ball further. Now you need to know how far these clubs go.
Now guys, what we see from a lot of people is when they set up to a golf ball, especially with their iron, they're very much in this position. You're being told you need to get your feet nice and parallel, looking at the ball, feet straight, and that's a perfect position. Well, from there, what we're going to start to see is that we're going to obviously limit the amounts we can turn on the backswing because the right foot's fighting against us. And when we see that, we see a lot of people then lift up and obviously lose their angles. From here, it's not a strong position to start your downswing. I'm going to have to change my angles and then maybe hit and throw my hands at it. Same with the left foot then. If I have my left foot pretty straight, then what we start to see is exactly what James mentioned. We see a lot of people start to slide this way. The hips move towards the target, the upper body stays back, and I either drag the club and hit it, unfortunately, a long way right, or the dreaded shot, or if we've got a little bit of hand-eye coordination, we often throw the hands at it and they'll match up nicely and I'll be able to get that on line. We'll just see that your 9-iron, your 8-iron, your 7-iron, your 6-iron are all going to go pretty much the same distance no matter what you do, and that's not what we want to do. And if you are somebody who does that, then this is what you need to do to help that. So when we set up to a golf ball, to help us get a little bit more speed and help us turn a little bit better, we can get both feet turned out a little bit. So the right foot ever so slightly opens up, and the left foot I would like to see nearly at 45 degrees angle. And this is not just with your irons, this is with your fairway woods as well. If you stand there and have your feet straight and try and rotate, there is only so far that we can go. If I now open that foot up, it makes it much easier for me to rotate through the golf ball. And the key to hit your irons further is that lower body moving that little bit better. You can see if I get that lower body to move out of the way, if I turn clubs into delivery here, and those hands can now just go where that left pocket was, I can get some nice forward shuffling and I can pressure that golf ball. I can then from there release through into a nice finish. And if you're somebody who has often a swing where you finish in that kind of position, I'm going to say that your feet are probably pointing straight forward. So get that left foot turned out, get your right foot turned out a little bit. Ball position, again for a mid-iron, is just in front of centre, and you'll be able to hit stronger shots and hit more greens. And if you can do that, guys, hit more greens, hit one more green around, that's going to help you lower your scores. Unfortunately, I've hit it too well and gone long, but now I know I need to club down.